What's up, buddy? It's good to see you today. Today we are talking about grading. Now, grading is a foreign concept to some people, which is okay. We're going to explain what it is today. Now, grading cards is a way of showing how valuable a card could be or how well it's taken care of. For instance, if I decided to grade the Micah Mac card, which is one of the most rarest cards, and it was a 10, right? It shows that it's more valuable than a non-graded one because it's well kept. All right, and some collectors want to have all of these 10s, right? You want to keep a card nice. Now, we will talk about how to keep cards nice, how do you store them in binders, what do you need to do to keep your cards nice, because let's be honest, no one wants to buy or even trade someone with a bent card or a damaged card. We want to keep them nice and neat because we love these cards and we want to make sure when we trade them with people that they are kept well, so that when we trade, it's not a bad trade where one is bent and broken and the other one is in perfect condition. We don't like those type of trades, so we want to make sure they are well taken care of. Now, that is the same with anything. It's just like putting a case on a phone. You want to make sure your phone is okay or your iPad is safe, so you put a case on it. The same goes with these cards. We're going to talk about those in another video of how to keep the cards nice, but we're talking about grading, and grading helps understand how valuable a card can be if it is kept nice. Now, let me talk to you about this KP grading. In fact, here's a man that could best describe what it is.
Hey everyone, it's Luke with KP Grading. Sam, aka Buddy Odyssey, asked me to share a little bit about card grading, specifically around BGMC trading cards. And so that is what I'm here to share, what it is, what it's about, how it works. KP Grading, we started it to kind of add this another level to the BGMC trading card game. And in the world of sports cards and trading cards and all sorts of those types of things, you can have cards graded. And so what is that? It says, when you look this up, card grading is the process of having a trading card, BGMC trading cards, professionally evaluated by a grading company to determine its condition and authenticity. The better the condition, the higher the grade, and usually the higher card market value. So I took the same kind of grading scale that these other companies have, made some tweaks. I looked into and researched kind of how they go about it, and what they use and the tools of the trade to determine a grade. And so how do you determine a grade? Between 1 and 10, 10 being usually a gem mint and 1 being the lower side. Some of those things, I just tell you, it's as simple as a cloth to wipe off any of the little lint and things on your card. Those are things you're going to want to do before you send them in. You can do like a pre-grading to make sure your cards are in the best condition. Things like a magnifying glass. Okay, we're really looking, we're 10x trying to see what it is. Are there any imperfections? Are there scratches or things of that surface? So we're looking for those different things when we're looking at your cards. We also, a little trick is a black light. So I got a little black light pen. Some things show up under that you wouldn't normally see. And then kind of one of the biggest things is this centering tool. And you can look at the centering of an image, how well it is on a card. So like, for example, here, you could set it up against the black border, and you can see how well this card center, and that plays a big role in getting a pristine gem mint, a perfect 10 pristine. So it needs to be a 50-50 on that. There's some scales for everything else. So that's kind of what we're looking for. We're looking for these slight imperfections you might see on BGMC cards. We already have rounded corners. That's really helpful to you guys because they're less likely to kind of get bent. Other cards have more of a pointed, and then those get nasty, and that can affect a grade. We're also looking at the edges to see if there's any like white showing. So when you put it like the handling it and doing stuff, you start to kind of take away the color and you see white. And then, you know, if you're squishing it or smushing it, these are things, bends, scrapes, those are things that are really going to affect your grade overall. I can tell you the process. You might hear terms that you're like, what does that mean? Slab. So usually this is kind of a big piece of what you're paying for is the slab or the case. So your card will eventually get put into one of these, sealed, and we call those slabs. That's kind of the term used in that. So you get put in there. I have a couple here that I can show you that are like some of the prototypes of like here's kind of how it started. That's just a basic label. So it was really working on the labels, and then they kind of moved and we got into the holographic style like the cards, and then eventually we got some different ones. You can kind of see that prismatic style, and you got the QR code which takes you to the Facebook page to keep track of cards. So there's been an evolution, and we keep trying to make things better. We've already heard of things that didn't go so great the first round, so we're constantly making it better to make sure that this is legit and is pretty awesome, and you get your cards back great. So basically, if you were to look, there's companies out there that grade other cards, and usually it costs a pretty good penny. So basically, I thought it'd be fun to be able to do this for BGMC, but at a very cost-friendly to everybody. So we really just do it at the price of the supplies needed. There are some things needed to make this happen, and so that's really what you're paying for, and the shipping to have it here and shipped back to you. So that's kind of the gist, and there's some info of that on the Facebook page, the KP grading, so that's where you can go to see and kind of hear more about this process. So I'm not one of those, you could say, professional companies, but it's as professional as they can do it, in my opinion, as for the BGMC cards. Why would people want to do this? Like I said, besides maybe just the fun factor of having your card in here with this, you know, with a grade. A graded card can be in the world of grading cards can usually increase the value. And if you've already been like, I really am trying to get that a vintage buddy, and now you see like some people are like, it's gonna cost you this much. Like they're already valuable. Maybe a gem mint, a 10, a 9, like that's even more. So it doesn't, we're not, you know, in that side of the world per se of this, that the value of these cards is going to dramatically go up, but that could start to happen as this keeps rolling. And then protection, you know, it just protects it, adds another layer. These are wrapped up. It's going to keep your card in really great shape. So that's kind of this in a gist, I guess. Hopefully that helps you. We try to take it serious. We're trying to look at this stuff, give you a fair grade, and make it fun. So, you know, if you're interested, come on over to KP Grading on the Facebook. You can probably find it on the BGMC fan page as well. We've shared it a couple times in there. So if you're having trouble find it. So that's how you can get a hold of us. You can send them, and then we'll get them graded and sent back out to you. So hopefully this has been helpful to you guys, and if you have more questions for me, you can come on over to that page and ask them. All right, thanks guys.